Diane in Denmark here, and good morning. It is Thursday, woohoo, which is Little Friday in Denmark. And as you can see from my calendar candle, we are now down to the 20th of December, which means hurry, hurry, we only have one more day to go. Tomorrow is the shortest day, the darkest day, but it feels like it's been dark for days and days and days. Anyway, we're getting there, and after tomorrow the days will hopefully get a little bit longer. I can tell you right now it's 8:30 here in Denmark, it's pitch black outside, but two things which have really helped me this winter. You know, I find winters very difficult, especially these long dark grey ones. Two things which have really helped me. One, the dressing your truth system. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I've found and my way back to my kind of proper colours, and I was wondering how it's going to work out in the winter, you know, dressing in these kind of spring-like colours and kind of ice cream colours, as my daughter calls them. But actually I find it really supportive, and a lot of people, you know, when they see me out and about say, oh, you know, how fresh and you know, bright I look, because everybody else is, you know, wandering around in a sea of black. And I know even yesterday some of you thought the dress that I was wearing was black. No, it's navy. It's just very, very dark here. And no, I don't darken my hair. It's the grey as usual. But it's just when I'm filming in the other lights, everything looks kind of dark. So this kind of dressing your truth thing has really helped me to be a bit light and bright in this, as I say, in this kind of sea of dark clothing. And the other thing that's really helped me the last month is ramping up the exercise. Now, I mentioned this in a video a few weeks ago. You know me, I'm out on my bike. We bike here a lot in Denmark, where we're physically active, and I'm down skinny dipping in the sea with my friends. But I felt like I needed to, you know, up the exercise a bit, not because I'm trying to do anything about losing weight or anything like that. I'm happy with my weight, always have been. But I just wasn't feeling the energy. And you know what it's like if you don't move your body. You know, you've got to move your body to get things moving, and you get more energy. And on the days that I really don't feel like exercising, I've kicked myself in the buhookie and said, you know, Diane, this is why you need to exercise, especially in those days when I'm not feeling like it. I've gone out and done my, you know, just a 15-minute run around the block, or I've been using an app to do strength exercises, just 7 minutes. And I post every time I do it on Instagram, and I know a lot of you have been joining in, so go us for keeping going with our exercise. And anyway, just a quick check-in with you today. It's Thursday, which in Flylady land is errand day, and I shifted my errand day. I've been doing it on Tuesdays for the past few weeks, just because that suits me better. Remember, you can change up these daily focus things to suit yourself. Anyway, let me just move the camera around, because I've got a couple of things I wanted to tell you. There we are. Oh, and you can see some of our Christmas cards hanging there. Right. One of the last things that I had to get present-wise was a gift. It's actually a prize for whoever finds the whole almond in the rice pudding for our Christmas dinner. Now, I've mentioned this tradition before, this weird tradition that they have in Denmark, and it actually it kind of goes hand in hand with the what do you call it in French? The Galette des Rois. You know, on Epiphany on the 6th of January in France, they have the Galette des Rois, which is you know, the Three Kings cake, and whoever finds the little figure inside gets a crown. Well, we have kind of similar tradition here in Denmark, that whoever finds the whole almond in the rice pudding on Christmas Eve gets a prize. And here, I've mentioned it before, and I'll show you it here. This is one that I bought in town. I made a video when I went into town last week. I think it was on Friday. Yeah, I uploaded it on Saturday. And this is what I ended up buying. And here it is. Let me see. And it is, because we're in Denmark, it's a Marzipan Pig. Here we are, here's Piggy. And this one comes in a thing that looks like a book. So there we are here. Oh, maybe I can just open it up. And here we have a Marzipan Pig covered in chocolate. So that was one of the last things that I had to buy. And I'm going to wrap that up today. And the other thing that I got to go with it, because we always like to have something a bit extra, is I bought some scratch cards, you know, for maybe winning 1 million krona. So I'm going to wrap that today, and I'm going to put it with the ingredients for the rice pudding, so I don't forget where it is, you know, for Christmas Day. And the other thing I was going to mention to you, please keep going with your pampering at this time of year. Hold on, let me just grab something. Right, hold on, there we are. I've been mentioning that I do a lot of Christmas themed reading, and I'm almost at the end of this one, Murder for Christmas. It's not a fantastic collection, but it was fun to read it, and the Agatha Christie, and I've just recently handed back to the library the, what's her name, Anne Perry one. Again, I got an Anne Perry Christmas story last year, which I didn't even bother finishing because it was kind of weird. And the one that I got this year, it was a novella, and I kind of ploughed through it, but just to get over and done with. So I'm not going to be reading her Christmas stories again. I don't mind her regular cosy crimes, but those ones weren't great. But I have picked up, let me see if I can put the camera a wee bit down. Oh, there we are. I've got my little, I'm sitting here, this is my reading chair where I've got my pamper basket. I picked up some other ones from the library, so I'm looking forward to that. And my bestie Helena, she had bought some glossy magazines, you know, and I never buy magazines. You know me, I'm a canny Scot. I get them all from the library. But she handed these ones on to me, so I'm going to enjoy reading about you know, Danish Christmas and all the fancy design things. And I also got the TV magazine. I've mentioned this before. When I was a child in Scotland, Mum and Dad didn't usually buy the Radio Times, but at Christmas they always bought Radio Times. So I've bought the Danish kind of equivalent of the Radio Times, which is Billedbladet, which means picture magazine. And this one is always full of the royals, you know, and actors and actresses. And I thought we'd just share it with you because here on the front, now some of you will know this lady. She is from Tasmania, Tasmanian, and she is Crown Princess Mary, who is married to our Crown Prince, Frederik. So when Frederik becomes king, she will be the Queen of Denmark. And she is from Tasmania, well, Australian. Actually, both her parents were Scottish, so I claim a connection there. Anyway, there's Mary on the front, and you can see inside, here's our Danish royal family, and there's Margrethe, our Queen Daisy, with all the grandkids. So there we go. So I haven't actually dipped into it yet, but what I used to do when I was a child was go through the TV part. Here we are, you can see. Started yesterday. Oh, and this shows you everything that's on Danish television, and you know, we'd take a pen and we'd circle all the things that we wanted to watch, because in the old days, of course, we weren't able to record anything, and then when you would have like the VHS, you know, the video recorder. You could only record one thing at a time. So. And of course, these days you can kind of record whatever you want, or, you know, it's been shown all the time. So anyway, that's what we'll be doing the next couple of days, is looking at what we're going to have for our holiday viewing. And anything else to tell you? No, not really. Last day of school for my kids. My son is having breakfast at school this morning. And then this afternoon he's going off to julefrokost, which is Christmas lunch, but it's in the evening. And he is in charge of making gløgg, you know, the mulled wine. And I've mentioned this before, kids in Denmark can drink alcohol from the age of 16, but don't worry, they're not able to get a driving license until they're 18. And otherwise the shops are going to be really busy here the next couple of days, so I am glad that I've got my things done. Remember, if you know, be good to yourself at this time of year. Also use any kind of little tricks that you can. If you want to avoid going to the shops, place an online order, you know, just do it this one time of year, and just make sure you keep pampering, you know, whether it's a walk with the dog, as I was out doing with my friend's dog yesterday, or it's a glossy magazine, or doing a Sudoku, or drinking a hot chocolate. Just do something for yourself today. So anyway, on that note, I better get moving, and I shall be checking in with you again tomorrow. So anyway, Diane in Denmark saying, live long and prosper, may the Danish sugar be with you, and I shall see you tomorrow. Okay, bye for now.